little coffee and donut here. Well, wait to see if anybody shows up, and if not, then we'll start doing a flight plan. Yeah, we're going to use a 737-8 today. Empty hangar. Oh, there we go. I didn't know, but you could actually start your flight from the hangar. Dog is eyeballing this chocolate donut. I may have to get him a treat. He's eyeballing it pretty seriously. Okay, well, I'm about ready to fly, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start thinking about where we want to go. So let's go ahead and dip on into the SimBrief. Flight plan. I guess the online SimBrief doesn't work. So let's close that. That's not good. Okay, let's get SimBrief dialed in here. That's what I'm trying to do on my iPad. Apparently I have too many things open. That's not it. There we go. So our last flight to Roma. Last night flew to Rome from Helsinki. We're going to do something a little bit more North American today. Maybe a little South American. We'll see. What's a good destination? Haven't flown into Havana. I'm afraid to fly into Havana because I'm not sure what the specs are on that airport. We can investigate and see if there's an ILS available. So let's do this. Let's go from Tampa Bay and I think that's KTTP. Let's see. Tampon International, KTPA. Tampon International. Now let's see if we can find an ILS in Havana. Okay, that didn't work. Havana, Illinois. Well, there's only one airport. Jose Marti in Cuba. The question is that ILS or not? I don't know. I don't know. Two runways, actually one runway, 06 and 240, so it's going to be either a east entry or a west entry. So let's just do it and see what happens. We'll pull it up on screen and see if it's ILS or not. Let's take I'll keep her low. We'll keep it about 250. Oh, I need to change the livery. I'm sorry, the iCal. Let's change that. Right. 19 right. Yeah, we'll just try it. Well, welcome out there if you're out there in YouTube land, and if you're on Twitch and joining, please feel free to chat. Let us know you're here. And if you're not here, that's cool too. Let's go ahead then and start moving along. Okay, we have a flight generated. From K Tampon. Ooh, excuse me, 19 right. I'll see if we can get some parking close to 19 right. At a terminal. I like that. That's an easy one to remember. Let me get clear off the desk here for a moment. Okay, snacks here for the dog. You guys go see the dog. I'm gonna put this over here. You can see him. Well, let's start moving this. First Officer Cheech, getting his treats. This is how we pay him. Live weather, live time. Already cold and dark. And let's go ahead and fire this baby up. Issues with the EFB again. All gone. Nice. Not good. Okay, this is annoying as hell. There's always something with the goddamn PMDG, that's for sure. I should do this stuff before I start the stream. Okay, we're going to back out. guess I'll try to request ground. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Okay, good. Wow. What a cluster. TPA to Muha. Alright. Got some ground power. I was doing some other stuff. As I'm munching out here, getting things ready. I didn't even check our altitude. That's right, 25,000. 250. Alright, let's start setting up. Let's get those stairs out of there. Be seating 98 passengers today. Let's see the truck just back into the jetway. That went underneath. How convenient. Well, at least the jetway didn't bury in the cockpit again. So I guess there was 160 people on the plane already, sleeping on there. Alrighty. Now we got that going. M-U-H-A. M-U-H-A. I wonder why they call it that. Well, the H-A is Havana. Invalid entry. Okay. That was weird. Not bad, not bad. Let's get a runway.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er with India request taxi for takeoff south departure.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er taxi to and hold short of runway 19er right using taxiway Victor Victor Tree Whiskey Whiskey 8. Contact tower on 119er decimal 5 when ready.
Well, that's a change. We got the runway
Taxi
we
to and
wanted.
hold short runway 19er right via taxiway Victor Victor Tree Whiskey Whiskey 8 ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
Got the runway we wanted. That's unusual. Okay, let's just keep this up on screen and come here. So we're going to be using TO. I'm getting a TO1, okay. TO1 active. Takeoff. CG 25.1. Close enough. Flaps 5. Page 2. Two hundred 208 for wind and 31 outside. Cell temp 50. Runway slop A, 0.09. Looking good. And let's get stuff going here on this departure. On 1 right. 01 right. 19 right. Gandhi 8 and Sabi. Select. Muha. Runway 6. Oh, it is ILS. That's a good thing. I wish my SimBrief would stop doing that. That's annoying as hell. Entry 4 and Kanda. Entry 4 and Kanda. So this has been up. They've updated Cuba. Interesting. Let's look at the legs. We're not going to take the Vector. Victor. Roger, Roger. Next page. Very simple. But it wants us to go to 390. We are not going to go anything over 250. So let's go ahead in here and put cruise at 250. Execute. Climb. Please. Descend. Forecast. Request. as is nothing. Let's plug in the QNH for Havana. $30. Now we can plug in our V speeds. $34, $35, and $40. $35 will go up on top. Oops, not too far. This could be 18,000. Runway heading 188. So we have our speeds all set. The course runway heading is 59 at Jose Martin. 59. 59. Alright, let's get these guys all set up here. Flight directors on. Auto thrust on, VNAV on, LNAV on. I said on. Okay, why not? Because they both have to be on the flight directors. That's something we just learned. Terrain on, position on. Looks good. Let's set. What the fuck is that all about? Why is the thrust engaged? For no reason. Okay, that's weird. Very strange. That was pretty strange. Freaky. Very freaky. Just auto throttled itself by itself. It throttled itself by itself. Time to take a drink after that. Peppermint schnapps. Okay, never seen that happen before. Right. Where were we? Let's double check this stuff again. LNAV is not engaged again because flight director is off. No. Flip it back on again. No LNAV now. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Let's cycle it again. Fuck. Fucking unbelievable. Set the trim at 4.8. .88. Yeah, I don't know why LNAV's not cycling through. That's pretty scary, though. That should cycle through. RTO. I hate it when something like that happens. It screws me up on everything else. Let's get down here on the pedestal.
GCAS test pass.
Thank you. Fire test. Good to go down here. SkyPO started. I think we're already boarded, so let's go ahead and cut everything loose. Yep. Runway 19R. How many feet is runway 19R? It's a good question. Let's find out. $11,000. Cool. Let's go to fix at Muha. And we'll go slash 10 slash 20 slash 30. Let's go 90. Oops. And legs are in. I think we're about ready. Let's go check the menu. Check our boarding. Looks good. Boy, it's taking that. Not starting the APU. Come on. Here it goes. Well, that took a while. Looks good. Gen lights are on. Cut loose ground power. And let's release it. Good to go. Chocks removed. And we are going to push back to the, oops. To the left. To the left.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 are requesting pushback.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 pushback request accepted.
Well, this should be interesting from Tampa Bay to Muha. I'll let you all guess what Muha is.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 are requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 are requesting pushback tug to push the aircraft straight.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 are requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Tampa ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 are requesting the end of pushback.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409 request to end pushback received.
Speed brake armed. RTO set. Flap set to 5. First officer CDU set to progress. Takeoff speeds are verified. $135, 134, 35, and 40. 34, 35, and 40. Yep. Looking good. LNAV's still not on. That's weird. I wonder if we fried LNAV. Let's go to the overhead. Fuel pumps on. Lights. Bleed off. ISO valve off. Backs on. Probe heat on. Gen set. Flight controls. I think we're ready to go, folks. Cabin crew prepare for departure. American Airlines 4409 ready to taxi. Tampa ground. American Airlines 4409 ready to taxi. Should be an interesting short flight today. After our cruise yesterday from Helsinki to Rome. That was an interesting flight. Over Lithuania and Latvia and Estonia and Croatia and Hungary and Poland. Pretty interesting route. This should be interesting too. Trying to land in Cuba should be an interesting deal. Cuba. Landing in Cuba. flaps are set to 5. Again, welcome tubers and twitchers. Tubies and twitchers. If you're out there, please join the chat. If you're not, oh well, you're missing it. We'll be leaving from Tampa International to Havana, Cuba shortly. Little wind coming onto the little headwind. Saw the sock there.
Tampa Tower ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er ready at runway 19er right departure to the south.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, wind 226 at 6. Departure to the south approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 19er right ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
Cabin crew brace for impact. Brace for impact. That was a joke.
8 knots.
V1.
Positive rate of climb.
Excuse me.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, continue for south departure. ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
As we depart Tampon Bay. Florida. Florida.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er. Acknowledge last transmission.
Tampa Tower ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er frequency change.
Laps up. There's a nice view of Tampon Bay. Atoll. Yeah, we're just leaving Tampa Bay just now, about 4 minutes ago. Tampa Bay to Havana, Cuba. Glad to see you could make it. Tampon Bay. There was so much about the Roma flight I screwed up yesterday. I watched the replay. I wish I knew how to do the replay on this. If you know how to set the replay, let me know. Over Florida. This is the west coast of Florida. That's the Gulf of America. No, it's not the Gulf of Mexico. It's the Gulf of America. I got a couple of buddies who live down in here. Bradenton. By the golf course. Pretty swampy area. Yeah, we're 737-8. PMDG had a couple of difficulties with it, but it's okay. LNAV wasn't working, now it's working. Yeah, what I forgot to do last night when we were coming into Roma, was flip this over to active That's interesting that it automatically did that, huh? Interesting. 110.5. So Havana's the same frequency? That's interesting. 110.5. That's our approach. So outer boundary of ILS in Havana will be 2,000 feet. I'm surprised they had ILS. Short flight. Oh, you had training today, okay. Sword fighting. Supposed to be a quick flight today. Hour and 33 minutes block time. Yeah, it's Florida. Lots of golf courses, lots of water, lots of stickiness. Very sticky down there. Sticky mosquito weather. So 2,000 feet is the outer boundary. Let's close this, we don't need that. Yeah, we're in the American Airlines livery today. Lots of white sand beaches down here. Lots of dolphins too. You can go to these beaches and there's dolphins everywhere. They like to cruise up and down the coast of Florida and Gulf of Mexico. Lots of dolphins. Somewhere in here, there's a road that goes from the west coast of Florida all the way to the east coast, and it's called Alligator Alley. And yes, we will be over the Everglades. Not yet, but we will be. Alligator Alley, that goes from the west coast of Florida to the east coast. Right around Fort Lauderdale, Miami. This way. Not over the Everglades yet. But it's really fun to go this coast of Florida. This is pretty cool. Lots of white sand. Very clear water. And lots of dolphin sightings. Great fishing. And shrimping. Okay, we're not going to forget to switch over our ILS standby today. No, I don't have to. Looks like it's already there. And also, let's not forget to get this set. We're going to go to 3, I think. Yeah, we'll go to 3. I don't like to use the reversers. Well, hope training went well. Alright, there we go. We're at altitude. That's our at altitude warning. Yeah, I think that's Alligator Alley right there. And the Everglades is all south. You don't like the Airbus. Do you have the Phoenix? I recommend the Phoenix. It's great. But it is definitely study level. Got to be prepared for it. Phoenix is great. We got co-pilot Cheech over here today. Can see him. Yeah, the fly-by-wire Airbus, I don't care for any of that stuff. The Phoenix is great though. I fly the Phoenix all the time. Maybe I'll do a short Phoenix flight today. Pick a short route. After this one, we'll do a short route on the Phoenix. Welcome aboard, everybody, and a short flight here. Well, maybe not so short, hour and a half. Yeah, it's kind of short. Tampa Bay, Tampon Bay to Havana Cigar. Havana new girlfriend. Havana new wife. Just kidding about the last one. She watches the stream. Everything's set up nicely up here. We're ready to go there. Speed check. .725, altitude is reached. I'm going to dial in 2,000 here now. That'll be our next stopping point. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read your chat. Yeah. Yeah, we have got lots of windy days. And yes to all of those questions. In fact, this is the middle of that season right now. April, May is the windy season here. Temperature will be 95 today. It was 95 yesterday. My swimming pool will be, currently it's about 80, but it will be in the 90s here within the next couple of weeks. The desert out here in Coachella Valley, where the festival is, we live pretty close to where the Coachella Festival is extremely windy. Overnight gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour. I have my umbrellas outside that frequently get knocked over. It's not sand that's the problem. It's dust. There's lots of dust from the farmland. It kicks up and it stays in the air, and it's always in the air. It comes into the house, even when you try to keep it clean and you vacuum up all the time. It's always dusty here, so if you mop it, you'll see a thin layer of black come up on the mop. which of course means you're breathing it. So for the 2 months that it's really windy here, April, May, occasionally into June and July, and that's why you always hear me like choking and coughing and stuff and sneezing, because I'm allergic to dust, and this is Dustville. Dust devils do occur out here, and I'm on a golf course, so you have to look out into the desert to see them, but you can see them from time to time. The sand doesn't really blind you. It's the dust that's bothersome. The sand is heavy compared to the dust. The dust goes up into the atmosphere, and I'm constantly checking with Alexa and Siri. I'm constantly checking air quality. So I have the AQMD, the Air Quality Management District, that I have it on my iPad, and I have it on my Apple Watch, on my phone, and if I'm going to do a bike ride or something, I always check the air quality, and if it's dusty, I have a mask that I wear. No, it doesn't snow down here. It snows up in the mountains behind us. So if you take a look at, look up Palm Springs and Mount San Jacinto, Jacinto, and Mount San Gorgonio. The valley in between those two mountains is Coachella Valley. And there's no snow down here, but it does snow up there in Big Bear. You can ski up there, but there's no sand up there. When I was younger, I used to ski Big Bear all the time. Well, like I was saying the other day, you can be on the beach. You could be in Newport Beach or Laguna Beach or Costa Mesa or Huntington Beach or Long Beach. Anywhere up and down the coast in California, you can be on the beach and then in the snow during the winter time. There's no more snow up there now. But in the wintertime, they get snow in the mountains, and you can be skiing. You could be surfing in the morning and skiing in the afternoon. That's a cool thing about California. Other things about California. Sorry if anybody's, politically adverse to what I'm about to say, but the state is very poorly run. Very poorly run. As I was talking about the other day, there's tons and tons of homeless here. A homeless flock here because of the weather. We have a homeless encampment outside the boundary of our neighborhood. Yeah, Nevada is not one big casino, but Las Vegas is. And there's casinos here in California too. The casinos here are run by the American Indian tribes. In fact, there's 2 within a mile of my house. Fantasy Springs. So you can look up Fantasy Springs in Indio, or the 29 casino. Both are within a mile to 2 miles of my residence. Let's have a look outside. Oh, wow. All right, folks, that is the Everglades. Flying towards Key West. Naples, big golf resort. So that's Alligator Alley right there. So it's behind us already. That's probably it right there. Alligator Alley goes all the way across the state. See that? Alligator Alley. Pretty rural out there. Never been to Hoover Dam, but never been there. I've been to Vegas hundreds of times, but never Hoover Dam. I've never taken the dam tour. Alright, so let's see, where's top of descent here? 149 miles to top of descent. I've never gone to Hoover Dam. I've been to Parker Dam, which is the south end of Lake Havasu on the Colorado River. So the Colorado River complex is a series of dams all along the lakes. There's a whole bunch of lakes created by dams. Hoover's the biggest one. Colorado River is across the desert from here about 3 miles, or 3 hours. That's the Keys in front of us. So I'm guessing we're going to be taking a right turn. Key West. Key Biscayne over here. This is all connected by a 2-lane, actually it's a 4-lane highway. It's a bridge highway. There's our turn. We're learning about various parts of the world vicariously. Thanks for the input on Europe and the EU yesterday, Joel. And I'm giving you tidbits about the US. So. Hoover Dam is an interesting deal, though. About, I think 45 or 46 people died making that dam. See if we can get the Keys on the left side. Yeah, there's the Keys. Yeah. No problemo. Well, you requested Cuba, so here we are. We'll see if we can land there. I don't know what's going to happen. It was not a perfect landing last night, but, you know, hey, whatever. I got to figure out replay. I know there's a way to do it. I'd like to really see the replays of the landings. Get your other simmer buddies to follow if you can. Yep, see all that? That's the Everglades right there. Just south and west of Miami. Miami's right in there. Key Biscayne. All of these are connected by a... Go and see it from here, I don't think. Let's see. That's Key West. You can almost see the bridge. Runs from island to island. Well, the Hudson is polluted unless you go way up north and it's cold. Colorado, people swim in all the time. That's a big resort. If you go to Laughlin, look up Copper Canyon on the Colorado River. Every year, there's a huge gathering of people there. It's just a big party, and people swim in the river. But people get killed in the river because there's lots of speedboats. It's a crazy place. Look up Copper Canyon on the Colorado River, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, but I don't know if you're able to open that link or not. That's a Facebook link. Not sure if you can open that, but look up Copper Canyon, and you can definitely swim in the Colorado. All right, let's check our descent situation here. We still have 86 miles. Sure, you can swim in the big... I wouldn't swim in the big lakes up there. I don't like swimming in anything where I don't see the bottom. The Great Lakes are they're huge. It's like the ocean, but cold, dark. Not a whole lot of, I mean, you can swim next to the beach. There's a lot of nice beaches, I'm sure. In the summertime, it's probably a probably neat thing to do. Lakeshore Drive in Chicago. I mean, but a lot of the Great Lakes are polluted. I'm not a lake guy, I'm an ocean guy. Lakes don't do anything for me. Fun to go on a boat on a lake, but that's about it. Alright, here comes our 100-mile fix. Looks like we have another turn happening. There's a random island down there. Hawaii. Well, they do everything. There's all kinds of business in Hawaii. It's a pretty heavily regulated state. Mostly service industries, hotels, tourism, restaurants, things of that nature. The Dole pineapple plant is there. The Dole sugar plant is there. There's sugarcane production. There's pineapple production. There's all kinds of crazy surfing. Hawaii is the surf capital of the world. I was in Oahu last year. Amazing place to me. Beautiful ocean. Hawaii, highly recommended. Can be very tropical, but it can also be very breezy. Actual live active volcanoes too. Were you able to open up that link of Copper Canyon? What do Americans drink? I don't know. The same thing you guys drink. I like this. I like sparkling ice. Alcohol wise, I don't know. People drink everything here. You name it, they drink it. Oh, have you been to the U.S.? Retro. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm pretty old-fashioned. There's nothing barbaric, dude. The images are incorrect. There's nothing barbaric in the United States. The people who live in the farmland are great people. The people who live in the city are screwed up. City people are screwed up. But that's changing. There's no barbaric territories. The north, it's wilderness, but everybody's wonderful. I don't hear of anything barbaric. If you want barbarism in the United States, just look at all the political protests done by the left. They're the ones that are screaming and hollering and being barbaric. You'll never see anybody on the right doing that. The natives. You mean the Native Americans? The Native American Indians? The indigenous people? The indigenous people of America were invaded by Europeans. Early American settlers were Europeans, and the European settlers took away a lot of the land of the Native Americans, and then they gave it back to them in the form of what they call reservations, which are independent nations of which they're allowed to do what they please. So how do I feel about it? I don't think it was right, but it's in the history books and it's done, and nothing I can do about it. I respect them, and everyone that I've ever met, except for one, was very nice. I had one guy ragging on me because I looked European. And they don't like that. They don't like Europeans. Or they don't like Americans of European descent. I think we're at TD. "15 miles to go." Yeah, I hope that enlightens you about the indigenous people. The indigenous people are wonderful. And they're adapted. They call themselves Americans, and that's what they are. And they're all part of our big happy family here. There are those that are hostile about the way that they lost everything, but again, 250 years ago, nothing I can do about it. Can't change that. That's history. Besides that, they operate most of the casinos around here, and they take all of our money, and that's they're pretty wealthy now. All right, here we go. Top of descent coming up. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But again, that's poorly run government. There's supposed to be enough water to handle that, and that's been mishandled. And yes, there are people that go out there and they set those fires intentionally. So if you live in one of those areas, that's what you have to deal with. Fortunately, I don't live in one of those areas, so. You watch the news, City of Los Angeles and the state of California did not allocate enough water in the reservoirs for the firefighters. And that goes right back to the governor as far as the blame. Ah, here we go. I hear the engines winding down. You guys probably see a lot of news about the U.S. and have very, very formed opinions about it. It's interesting. Let's check our waypoints. So currently we are on the way to entry, 41 nautical miles. We need to be at 10,000 at that waypoint. Speed 261. We are definitely fast. I think we have a decel right there. Yeah, some people believe that the government is their savior. Those are the people that don't want to work for a living. They want to live off of everybody else. Then we're starting to talk politics, so looks like Cuba up ahead of us. I try to stay out of the political conversation. I don't personally believe or rely on the government. I worked my whole life, so I'm a responsible person. All right, Cuba approach coming up. I can switch back to normal QNH.
Havana Center ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er is type Boeing 737 tree 5 miles northwest of Playa Baracá, 17,100 feet. Request flight following.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er Havana Center. Squawk 7637.
Squawk 7637 ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er radar contact tree 1 miles northwest of Playa Baracá, 15,600 feet. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 7.
Yeah, I told everybody's got to be responsible with this planet. That's for sure. And not hypocritical. So, if you're professing jets are polluting the atmosphere and creating climate change, you shouldn't be flying in private jets from one place to another.
Roger, ALB 4409 Alpha Lima
So the
Bravo
hypocrisy is great.
4409er.
Well, that's a strange vision right there. Coming up on Cuba. I'll be amazed if we actually land this there. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, everybody's got to take care of it. You got to take care of your own stuff. That's true. I do my part. We have recycling here. I do all the recycling that I possibly can. We got 2 trash bins. One for organics and one for recycling. Most people do their part here. Alright, let's see how we doing. We are at entry in 3.5 and we need to be at 10,000. We're going to make that goal. Speed should be 261. So we need to create a little bit of drag. Let's get some drag going there. Flying into a communist country. Planes are necessary, my friend, you're right, but the climate activists are jetting all over the world and complaining about air pollution. So they're hypocrites. As they leave their little corporate Learjets. $10,000 feet on profile, 4,000 feet for the next stop. Havana 407. So we have to be doing some serious dropping here now. $4,009 miles. I don't think we're going to make that unless I give some flaps. I think there is engine failure. I don't know about bird strikes, but yeah. I don't know how I haven't really set any failures, so I'm not sure how I'm not good enough yet. But that would be interesting. Yeah, we need to drop altitude-wise. We need to get down for sure. Let's check our landing. Let's check our approach. Yeah, we need to be flaps 40. Havana 407. Should be at 4,000 feet. So we're not going to make that goal. So we've got 25. miles to get down to altitude. Well, dude, you wanted Havana. Here we go. Here's Cuba. Freezing up a little bit. We'll see. Should be 2,000. So we got 11, we got 12 miles to get to 2,000 feet. Seems like we're right on profile. I think I could probably take the speed brakes off.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, contact Havana approach on 120 decimal tree. Good day.
Going to 120 decimal tree ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er. Havana approach ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er 5,200 feet.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er. Havana approach altimeter 29er decimal 9er 6 radar contact. Continue.
Cabin crew prepare for arrival. Oh, wow. $420 on the minimums. I didn't set the minimums. Wow. Just noticed that. Still on profile. Yeah. I don't know if you, oh, you can see Cheech in there. Yeah, he's passed out. Yeah, Cuba's really poor. Well, it's communist, man. It's a communist country. They don't have anything. The government has everything. They're communist. Corrupt communist government. It's not even socialist. It is communist. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Still on profile. Yeah, co-pilot Cheech is passed out. That's his usual spot. I got a big left turn coming up here, and then we're on final. Left turn. Should be right about now. Let's go for full flaps, gear down. Flaps to 40. Set localizer. Okay, where's the localizer? What the hell? For some reason they're not activating. Ah, some windy. Yeah. What does he get paid? He gets paid a lot of food. Wow, look at this. Look how windy it is. Crazy. Amazing that we're still tracking. Yeah, he falls asleep during a critical landing. And we're getting bounced around out there. Interesting landing. One runway. Well, right on profile, that's for sure. What kind of crosswind do we have? Coming from the right rear. Yeah, man, Cheech gets paid a lot. He gets paid in love and food. In his own big backyard. He has the life, trust me.
500.
Especially since he was rescued. Here we
Sink
go.
rate. Sink rate.
I'm on this right now, hold on.
$300. Approaching minimums. 2 minimums. $100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
That looked like butter to me, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cuba. Cigars can be purchased for a nominal fee in the terminal. Please don't accept any offers for timeshares.
Mardi Ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er request taxi to the gate.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er taxi to Gate Tree 2 via taxiway Alpha Delta.
Taxiing to Gate Tree 2 via taxiway Charlie Alpha Delta ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
That was actually a pretty smooth landing. Drifted a little bit after the nose touchdown. Yeah, the co-pilot's passed out. Wow, she's not turning. Tight turn. Tight like a tiger. Tightly tight, tight. I too like to live dangerously. Look at all the turns. Crazy. Alright, Toll, if you're still out there, think about the next flight. We'll do an Airbus if you want to. If you don't want to do it, I'll just sign off. You're the only captive audience today.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, hold position, caution, other traffic. ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, continue taxi.
Gotta
Alpha
behave,
Lima
we're in
Bravo
Cuba.
4409er.
Oops, stopped too soon. Brakes grabbed. Forgot to turn those off. Apparently it didn't make any difference. Just wear and tear on the system. Packs off. Let's deplane. Deplane, deplane. Fuel pumps off. Yaw damper off. Now, would you fly directly from here to someplace else or start a whole new flight? I think a whole new flight is in order. If you want to do the Phoenix A320, I'll do that. Well, let me know pretty soon, because otherwise I'm going to sign off. pretty empty here in Cuba. Still 39 passengers are on board. Time to wake up the co-pilot. If I get up for food, he'll wake up. Okay, folks, we're going to wrap this up. 26 passengers are left to deboard. Hope you enjoyed your flight from Tampa to Havana, Cuba. Enjoy your sightseeing. Watch your pockets. Don't step on any hypodermic needles or dog crap. And watch out for communist, anti-American patrols. If you really want, you can take a tour to the Bay of Pigs and Guantanamo Bay. Enjoy your stay. Say hello to the Castro brothers. And that wraps it up. Okay, we're going to sign off from here. Let's get this baby shut down. Batteries. Ground power off. And that concludes this flight to Havana. I will do a couple of quick flights maybe. And the DA, perhaps at McCarran right here. Quick little tour around Las Vegas. Alexa, what is the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 70 degrees.
McCarran Airport, Las Vegas. Pretty screwy airport, that's for sure. That's the wrong livery. Well, I guess we chose it, so there we go. Electrical systems need to be armed in order to communicate. Hmm. Okay, well, we figured that out.
Las Vegas ground ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er with mic request taxi to the active touch and go.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er taxi to and hold short of runway 8 left using taxiway Bravo 5 Charlie Golf Whiskey, cross runway 1 right Whiskey, cross runway 1 left Whiskey Foxtrot Bravo Hotel. Contact tower on 119er decimal 9er when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 8 left via taxiway Bravo 5 Charlie Golf Whiskey cross runway 1 right Whiskey cross runway 1 left Whiskey Foxtrot Bravo Hotel ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
All right, quick tour of Las Vegas. There's Mandalay Bay and Luxor. And right over here is a Divine Nine Callaway Golf Course. I don't know if it's still there. We'll fly over it. A little frame rate issue thing going on there. Don't know what caused that. Let's go ahead and park for now. There it goes. Clear that up fast. Okay. Yeah, we're still taxiing. Jeez, where's the runway? Let's take a tour around the entire freaking airport. Jeez, what a joke.
Las Vegas Tower ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er at runway 8 left ready for departure, touch and go.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, wind 139er at 5. Left touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 8 left. ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, did you copy?
Cleared for takeoff runway 8 left ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er.
Wow, windy. strong crosswind from the right.
Don't sink, 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 don't sink.
ALB 4409 Alpha Lima Bravo 4409er, wind 139er at 5. Clear touch and go left traffic runway 8 left.
Well, we've lost all power and inability to get our landing gear down. So, let's see what we can do. And that's about all we could do. Well, on that note, don't know why we lost power in the DA. That was unusual. Good night, folks. Hope you had a great day. Interesting flight from Tampa to Havana. See you later, Toll. I guess you're offline. See you whenever. Let's take a look at our profile today and see if we got the Havana credit. Ooh, I exited out. That's not what I wanted to do. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Nicely done. Well, let's go out of there. It was real and it was fun, but it wasn't real fun. We are still streaming. I get it. Exited out of Flight Sim a little bit too early, but okay. Anyways, have a good one. We're done with the stream for the day, and we'll see you on the next go-around. Thanks very much for joining.